So, what if everything you've ever been taught about success is, well, wrong? Today, we're diving into the work of Shawn Achor, who argues that we've had the formula for success completely backward this whole time. Get ready, because this idea could totally change how you look at your job, your goals, and maybe even your whole life.
Let's start with a myth, a broken formula for success that's been drilled into us since we were kids, by our parents, our teachers, our bosses. It's a formula that, if we're being honest, most of us are still following without even thinking about it.
So what is this universal formula that we're all taught to chase? You know the one I'm talking about. It's that promise that if you just follow the steps, happiness will be waiting for you right there at the finish line.
And it looks exactly like this. If I just work harder, I'll be more successful. And then, once I'm successful, I'll finally be happy, right? Get the promotion, then I'll be happy. Hit that sales target, then I'll be happy. Get the good grade, then I'll be happy. Success first, happiness second. Sound familiar? Yeah, I thought so. But here's the thing. The only problem with this formula is that it's broken. See, with every win, we just change the goalposts for what success means. And happiness? It just gets pushed further and further over the horizon. But more than that, the formula isn't just broken, it's completely backward.
And this is where we get to the core of Achor's work. He calls it a kind of Copernican revolution for achievement, and it's a great way to think about it. For centuries, we thought the sun revolved around the Earth. We were wrong. Achor says we're making the exact same mistake when it comes to happiness and success. The happiness advantage just flips that whole old model on its head. It says that happiness isn't the reward you get for being successful. No, happiness is the precursor. It's the fuel that drives performance and achievement in the first place.
This quote from Achor really says it all. Think about that for a second. Happiness is the center. It's the sun. And success, that's just the planet that revolves around it, not the other way around. Because when we're in that positive state of mind, we're just better, smarter, more motivated, more resilient.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds really nice, like a feel-good idea, but this isn't just wishful thinking. There's a decade of research in positive psychology and neuroscience that proves it. So let's look at the science. What actually happens to your brain when it's positive?
Okay, let's start with doctors. Studies found that doctors who were put in a positive mood, sometimes with something as simple as a piece of candy, made an accurate diagnosis 19% faster. We're not just talking speed here, we're talking accuracy, all driven by a little bit of positivity. And how about in business? Well, get this. Optimistic salespeople don't just sell a little more, they outsell their pessimistic coworkers by a staggering 56%. 56! Positivity isn't some soft skill. It is a massive competitive advantage.
And it's not just about speed or sales. Your brain on happiness is fundamentally more intelligent and creative. We're talking 3 times more creative than a brain that's in a neutral or negative or stressed state. That changes everything when it comes to problem solving and innovation.
So why does this happen? What's the secret sauce? Well, positive emotions flood our brains with dopamine and serotonin. And these aren't just feel-good chemicals, they're performance-enhancing chemicals. They literally switch on the learning centers of our brain, letting us organize new information, remember it longer, and spot connections we would have completely missed otherwise. At this point, you're probably thinking, okay, great for people who are naturally happy all the time, but what about me? And this is where the next principle comes in. It tackles the big question, can we actually change our mindset to get these rewards? And the answer is a huge, resounding yes.
Achor uses this really powerful metaphor of a lever and a fulcrum. Your mindset, that's the fulcrum, the pivot point, and your potential is the lever. By just shifting that fulcrum, by changing your mindset, you can dramatically increase your power to lift your world and create positive change.
And they actually proved this in this fascinating study on hotel maids. One group was simply told that their work was excellent exercise. The other group was told nothing. And the results were mind-blowing. The group that just changed their mindset, without changing their activity one bit, they actually lost weight and saw their cholesterol drop.
The takeaway here is, well, it's profound. Our reality isn't fixed. How our brain frames our daily activities has a direct, measurable biological impact on us. This isn't just thinking positive, it's actively shaping your own reality.
Okay, so we know happiness fuels success, and we know our mindset can literally change our reality. The big question is, how do we start? So let's get practical.
Let's talk about some simple, actionable habits you can start using today to rewire your brain for success.
Agor gives us a ton of tools, but let's focus on 3 really powerful ones you can try this week. First, find something to look forward to. Plan a fun dinner, schedule a movie night, whatever. Just the act of anticipating it can raise your endorphin levels by 27%. Second, commit a conscious act of kindness. Buy a coffee for the person behind you, or just send a quick 2-sentence email praising a coworker. It's one of the fastest ways to boost your own well-being. And third, exercise a signature strength. Think about something you're naturally good at, creativity, humor, organization, and just find one new way to use it each day. These small habits, when you do them consistently, can permanently raise your happiness baseline.
And that brings us to the final thought. The happiness advantage isn't about ignoring challenges or pretending everything's perfect. It's a work ethic. It's the understanding that our brains can change, and that by cultivating a more positive mindset, we're not just becoming happier, we are giving ourselves the most significant competitive edge possible. So the question is, are you ready to change your fulcrum?